Let's turn back to court now, where the lead investigator is testifying about video showing the defendant with a suitcase.
This here, Crawford, does that appear to be a person with a suitcase?
Yes, and the area that came from is the front stairs that lead to the front door. This appears to be a rolling style suitcase, light colored top, dark pants, light colored shoes. And once again, the red washes out on this little red white hat.
What direction was that person traveling in?
From the front staircase down the sidewalk to the parking lot area on the south side of the apartment complex.
Okay, we're going to keep watching for a second.
Michael, we just saw him pulling a suitcase. It is so hard to imagine, allegedly, that is him pulling the victim in that suitcase.
What's jumping out to me through all of these videos at the Walmart and here is the coolness with which he seems to be functioning, which again, I think plays into the prosecution's theory that this was in fact a cover-up and that maybe this was something that was premeditated. Again, normally, if this happened as a mistake, something out of provocation or passion, you might panic a little bit.
Freaking out.
You know, or freak out a little bit. He doesn't seem to be doing any of that.
No, you are right. He's very calm. And when he was at Walmart, he wasn't really hurrying. And at Walmart, we noticed he was putting into his bag power bars, food products. I mean, to go about like it's a normal day. Maybe he's a killer like the state alleges.
Yeah, it's hard to get inside the mind of a killer, what they're thinking, what they're doing. It's just very difficult. But this is very, very damning evidence. Let's bring quickly back in our guest, defense attorney and former head prosecutor Bob Bianchi. And Bob, this is about these videos and stuff about an alleged cover-up. But what's interesting is the defense is suggesting that he partook in this cover-up because he was protecting family honor, meaning there's this cultural element to this case. As a former prosecutor, how do you prepare for that? How do you deal with that?
Well, you know, I deal with it by saying suitcase, body parts, like you just said, cool, calm, collected. Let's put some power bars in there. I'm a little hungry. Handcuffs on a corpse. Well, why do you have to handcuff a corpse unless you're handcuffing somebody before they died in order to commit a brutal murder? All this adds up to a very, very sick and disturbed individual. So they can make all those kind of claims that they want, Michael, but I think your points and the points that the judge are making, common sense is going to dictate here. This is a bad dude, man, who did a really bad thing and is very comfortable in what he did, purposefully did what he did, made sure that she was definitely dead by the number of stab wounds, put her in handcuffs, chopped her up, put her in a suitcase, guilty.
Yeah, you know, Bob, as we are, add insult to injury, because if the jury finds that to be true based on the evidence, then you look back at this poor mother who for 8 days was looking for her daughter, who investigated herself without the assistance, because the police, I don't think, really ever took her seriously. I can't get myself in their minds either, but they didn't do much, and then broke into his house, not once, but after the police left, broke in again to get stuff. So 3 times she broke into that house.
Yeah, Judge, you bring up something that really struck me when I was looking at this, and I hate to tell war stories, but one of the cases that I prosecuted involved a guy who killed, or 2 people who killed a young woman, chopped her up, put her in a suitcase, and but for the gratuitous grace of God, that when they were dumping the suitcase into a river, some off-duty police officer happened to be just driving by, stopped, put his finger inside the suitcase, saw blood, and then eventually made it stop.
Hold on a second,
so
Bob,
because
Bob, I want to get to that story again, but right now they're talking again. I think that's the car there. Let's get back in the car.
And approximately same model year range as well.
Based on your review of this video, was there anybody else in Mr. Chen's car?
No, to my knowledge, looking through the windows, they're not going to be tinted windows, especially when light passes through, especially being a street light and passing cars. You can clearly see the gun sitting out inside of the vehicle.